Hello, it's Felix. It's week 26, and the topic this week is family. I guess the first thing I would say is that I feel very, very lucky to have the family that I do, and for them to be as supportive of me as they are. It shouldn't be luck, it should be a given. I think that your family should love you unconditionally, but unfortunately, not everyone does this, which is very sad. My family are really, really supportive of me and have made it possible for me to do everything that I've done in terms of the medical side of my transition, and also the me still being part of my family and my family seeing me as I would like to be seen. My mum and dad. So I'm an only child, and my mum and dad have always been really supportive of all my endeavours and the things that I'd like to do, and of me as a person. When I was about 14, 15, I came out as gay, or I guess gay by questioning questioning my sexuality, I guess is the right way to describe it. And they were really supportive of that, and I could bring partners home and that wouldn't be a problem. And then when I started questioning my gender and talking about that with my friends, I started talking about it with my mum and dad, and they were really supportive, and my mum went and did loads of research and found loads of information out by herself and talked to my dad about it. I think something that I found helpful is I didn't just phone them up one day and say, right, you have to call me Felix now. I've decided that I'm a boy and that's what I want, and I want to have surgery and I want to have hormones and that's what's happening. I think that would have been quite a shock for them if I'd said all of that in one go. So I started talking to them about things right from the beginning, when I was feeling unsure or questioning or thinking about things in a more in a less kind of concrete way. So they've really been through transition with me, and I think that's really helpful for family members and for friends to kind of be with you on the journey, rather than you arrive somewhere and then you tell them that's where you've arrived at. Because I think it is difficult, and I don't think that it's I don't my parents do. There's elements of my transition that they found difficult or that they found sad, and I do completely respect that. I respect the fact that they've had to completely change the way they see me. They've known me my whole life, and they, I respect that they have to go through transition as well. But I think the main thing about them is that they're very willing. They're very willing to learn. They're very open, and they, even if they don't get there straight away, they're always willing to try and to move forward, and I think that's really positive. My mum and dad paid for me to have private therapy. They paid for me to start hormones privately, and they paid for my top surgery. I don't really have the words for how important that has been for me and how important their support is. It's everything, really. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and I will always be grateful for that. And it just makes me so incredibly sad that not everyone has that from their parents, because I really think that if you bring a child into the world, you should love that child unconditionally, and I find it really upsetting that there's parents that don't love their children unconditionally. So that's my mum and dad. They're awesome. In summary, I guess another significant member of my family is my granny. I've talked about her a little bit before in previous videos. She's amazing. She's 92. She's a German Jewish refugee. She came over to this country when she was 15, and she's been through so much in her life, and she's just a wonderful, vibrant, interesting intelligent, lovely person, and I see her pretty much every week. She lives in London as well, and she's always been really supportive of me, but I remember being quite nervous about telling her that I was transitioning because I didn't want to affect our relationship at all. And my dad spoke to her about it, and I went for dinner with my dad and my granny that evening after he'd spoken to her. And the minute I got there, she was like, "Hi, hello, Felix. It's really good to see you. How are you?" From that moment on, she's called me Felix, and she's never made a mistake. She's never mispronounced me. She's never called me my previous name. She's just absolutely on board, 100%. And I don't really know why it's happened like that. It always makes me think, like, if my 92-year-old grandmother can get on board and not have a problem and just get on with it, then why can't other people? But there we are. So she's wonderful, and I feel very lucky to have her in my life and have her support. Other members of my family, my auntie, who I'm quite close to, who lives in London, is really cool about everything. My extended family, like my cousins and stuff, they're all really good about it. People always call me Felix at like family gatherings, like weddings or birthdays and stuff like that. Unfortunately, like two members of my family passed away in the last 2 months, which has been really, really tough. But I went to the funeral of my auntie last month, and everybody called me Felix, and there was no issue around that at all, and that was really good. I think the information kind of filters through, like my dad or my mum. My dad and my mum took the responsibility of telling the extended family members, but I think that either, you know, they've just explained it in a way that is appropriate, and also to like old family friends, and the response has been really lovely. Like there's been quite a lot of people who've sent emails being like, "This is really, you know, we really support Felix. We want him to be happy, and that's really good." So I think they must be explaining it in a good way if people's responses have been so positive. So that's been really good. My mum, I think my mum has found this quite a journey for her personally as well, and she has. So I took my parents to a gendered intelligence family event, which is Gendered Intelligence are an organisation that support young trans people and their families, friends, partners, etc. And my parents came to one of those events nearly a year ago now, and they found that really, really helpful to talk to other parents and professionals and other trans young people. And as a result of that, my mum has started volunteering for Gendered Intelligence, and now her and my friend Liam's mum, and they're both called Sue, so the two Sues run the Gendered Intelligence Parents Group. So if there's any parents that need support, any parents, friends, cousins, aunties, uncles, whoever need some support or some advice, then you can email parents@genderedintelligence.co.uk. I'll put the email address in the box thing below here, and my mum and Sue will respond and help you out, basically. I'm really proud of my mum for doing this. Like, I feel that she's kind of taken it a step further, and I think she really strongly feels that she wants to not just support me, but support other young people who don't have any family support or other parents who are struggling. And I think that she feels that if her experiences can help someone, then she wants to share them. And I'm really, really proud of her for doing that. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about family, really. I mean, I think just to reiterate, I feel like in an incredibly privileged position. I know that I have a huge amount of privilege in terms of my family and how they are, and my only hope is that through things like this and through stuff that my mum does and through stuff that Gendered Intelligence does, that more people will have the support of their family and more people will be able to do that. So yeah, cool.